Okay, this is the Algebra 1 STAAR study guide, lesson 3.4 video. And we are going to be looking at the parallel and perpendicular lines lesson. And what this is really dealing with is how we tell if two linear functions are parallel or perpendicular to one another. And so the basic idea here is, if you remember what these terms mean, is parallel lines are lines that don't intersect. And what that means mathematically is that they have the same slope. So we'll be looking for that. And then perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals, which basically means they are one positive, one negative, and they are reciprocals, which means their fractions are flipped. So an example would be negative 2 and positive 1 over 2. And so that would be reciprocals and one negative, one positive. But we're going to be using the graphing function of Desmos to just basically visually confirm. But having said that, there are some ways you can kind of get the answers without much trouble. So, for instance, with number 1, find a line that is parallel to the line with this equation, 5/8 x plus 2, through the point 0, 1. So we could graph these and confirm, but I kind of want to talk through a little bit about conceptually what's happening. If it's going to be parallel, we automatically know this answer at the bottom cannot be correct because that is not the same slope as this. And just for the sake of simplicity, we also know C is not the answer, and we don't need to go into that, but we are pretty confident that one of these two answers is correct because they both have the same slope as this line, 5/8, 5/8, 5/8. So then the question becomes, which of those passes through the point 0, 1? And we could go graph and confirm, and we'll do that on some of the problems that come below. But really, the easiest way to get this is just to notice that this has positive 1. This has negative 1. So it has to be answer choice A because it crosses 0, 1, because the plus 1, if you remember on a y-intercept, is dealing with the point that it crosses the y-axis. So I'm going to scroll down and look at the next one. Now it says perpendicular. Which one is perpendicular to the line with the equation 5/8 x plus 2 through the point 0, 1? So right away, I know we were no good on this one. And just to kind of be, make this as easy as possible, we know that the slope of the line that's perpendicular to this one has to be negative, and it has to be 8 over 5 because it has to be flipped. And it has to cross through the point 0, 1, so clearly this is the answer. But for the sake of visually understanding this, I'm going to go ahead and graph this one. So we have 5/8 x plus 2. So we have y equals 5/8 x plus 2. And we know it has to cross through the point 0, 1, according to the example given. So we put the equation, we put the point, and now we're going to go through these. So let's just try this one to see what it looks like. 5x minus 8y equals 8. 5x minus 8y equals 8. Okay, so that's a parallel line, right? Not perpendicular. So that's not the answer. So that one's pretty easy in terms of knowing what to do on that one. So that one's no good. So we'll jump down to the next one. We have negative 8 over 5x plus 1. Let's get this out of here. Negative y equals negative 8 over 5x plus 1. And so I'll zoom in a little bit, but you can see it crosses at this point here, 0, 1, and it's perpendicular. And perpendicular, we can tell because it creates a right angle, creates a square right there. And so that's how we know this is our answer. Number 3, choose the correct equation for the line. We want to find a line that is parallel to the x-axis through the point 3, 4. All right, so let's jump over here. Let's clear out what we have. So first of all, we need to understand what the x and y axis are. So you should know, hopefully, that this is the x-axis, the horizontal axis, and the y-axis is the vertical axis. So we're looking for one that's parallel to the x-axis. And it passes through the point 3, 4. So let's jump over here, and we're going to type that point in. Okay, so it has to cross through this point, and it has to be parallel to this axis. So the line's going to need to go like right along here. So we'll see which one fits that. First answer is y equals 4. So jump back, and we'll type y equals 4. And that's convenient. The first answer choice is the one that matches. It crosses the point, and it also is parallel to the x-axis. Now, just for the sake of argument, I want you to see what the x looks like. X equals 3. So see, x equals means a line that goes up and down, so that would be perpendicular to the x-axis, but we know that we're looking for parallel, and it needs to cross through this point, and so it has to be y equals 4. And I'm going to let you go ahead and tackle number 4 on your own. Notice that it says it's perpendicular to the line y equals 8, and it goes through this point. So you'll just need to graph the line, graph the point, and graph all of these until you find the one that meets that requirement. So I'll let you do from your own, and then we will move on to the next one.